first card is Sandra Pacheco.
I have a question. Is the city manager, besides us voters, your boss?
No.
He's not. So they're your boss? Uh-oh, you're in a heap of deep. I want to suggest that I am not the only one who feels that I think Pat Meyering is trying to be as honest as he could be, because I see a lot of you bobbleheading up there. You don't realize you're doing it, but you are, which means you're hearing what he's saying, but you want us to think, no, that's not true. Yes, that's true. Instead of, not doing something like that, that's not really professional as far as I'm concerned, and you're really good at that. It says here that Sunnyvale, you are about to become a laughing stock. This came out of the Mercury News, and this is in regards to what is going on here. As far as I'm concerned, you don't have to like each other. I don't care whether you do or whether you don't, as far as a taxpayer. But I think you need to work together. I really do. And from what I see, you and you and you and you and you, and I'm not too sure about you. I think you're leaning. You're trying to do the right thing from my standpoint of view. But you all work together. As far as recusing yourself, I heard that out of Planning Commission that you don't do that. So I didn't just hear it from Pat Meyering. I hear it from the other constituents that work with you. And I was at one of their meetings. In fact, the gentleman that was on the podium says, but Mrs. Pacheco, you don't know how these developers make it so convincing. Yeah, I do. My ex-father-in-law was the mayor of San Carlos for decades. So I know how convincing they can be. And I know how convincing it is to see, to see a nice little pocket full of cash here and there. Or maybe to your kids get the betterment of something that you would like. I know how this works. So you can sit there, and if you can lay your head down on the pillow at night and say, I did a great job for the city of Sunnyvale, and said, gee, I did a great job for my family. If you can do that, you shouldn't be there. And you definitely won't get my vote.
Thank you. Terry Fowler.
Terry Fowler. The censure motion before the council tonight might seem to be an attempt to limit free speech. I don't believe this is such an attempt, but rather an attempt to return to civil discourse. Freedom of speech is a cherished American right, but it's not without limits. We have laws against libel and slander, for instance. Organizations such as our military, business, and the city of Sunnyvale place limits on free speech. The military does so to promote discipline. Companies do so to protect their competitive advantage. The city of Sunnyvale created a code of conduct to help our council discuss issues openly and without personal rancor, accusations of malfeasance, or corruption. As a candidate in the last election, Councilmember Meyering was the only one who declined to sign the Model of Excellence, in effect declaring that he refused to be limited to the rules everyone else agreed to follow. He has interrogated city employees as if they were hostile witnesses in a court of law, which is a violation of the council code of conduct. He sees incompetence, malfeasance, and criminal behavior in most of the matters that come before the city council. For him, there's no room in his world for anyone to make an honest mistake. He accuses people of being, quote, flat out wrong, unquote, when they are provably flat out right. He consistently refuses to recognize his breaches of the code of conduct, even when they're immediately pointed out to him. It's a sad day when a sitting council member who has served the city for many years feels it necessary to publicly wish that he were not associated with the council that Meyering is on. Meyering constantly wastes time asking for copies of confidential city information, even though this action would violate city policy. He has refused to come to City Hall to view the information because he complains it is inconvenient. I suggest to him that coming to City Hall is part of his job, and if he finds it inconvenient, he should resign and stop whining about it. We should have no expectation that Councilmember Meyering's conduct will be changed by a censure vote. But as I understand it, one effect of a censure is to deny him reimbursements for travel expenses. At least in this aspect, the citizens of Sunnyvale will not be paying him to travel and spread his implied accusations of corruption and incompetence to one and all. For these reasons, I ask the City Council to make this a unanimous decision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I just want to correct one part. It would
Sorry?
not deny him his travel expenses.
I'm sorry?
It would not deny him his travel expenses.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry to hear
No
that.
problem. Okay. Councilman Meyer.
Right, Mr. Fowler, you indicated that as a candidate I didn't sign the Pledge of Ethics. That's not a correct statement. You're mistaken on that. With regard to your appearance here before, you stated that you're the captain of the Sunnyvale Democratic Club. Is that correct?
No, that is not correct.
You hold a supervisory position with the Sunnyvale Democratic Club.
I do not.
Well, you previously stated you were either president, vice president, captain, something of that nature.
No, sir, I did not.
It's on the video.
I am currently the CFO of that club.
And 15 months ago, there was an election, and there were two people running for seat 5, and one was a Democratic Party member, correct? And I was the independent, non-aligned member. And your club's member, unfortunately, came in second.
Mr. Bochang, correct,
And that gives you a lot of heartburn.
Well, sir, as a matter of fact, I voted for you. And I voted for you specifically because Mr. Chang was an inferior candidate. He ran a very poor race, and you at least were willing to commit to things. And that was the reason that I voted for you.
You're a person of shrewd judgment, at least in the past.
No. The other thing that I wanted to comment on was that when I checked with the city clerk on who had signed, of all of the candidates, the promissory thing, I was informed that you declined to sign that. And I was shown a piece of paper that you had signed as declined.
No, I never signed anything as declined. And as a candidate, I signed the Pledge of Ethics. There's a copy in the clerk's office. So you become confused as to what you're talking about.
Really? Well, the city clerk is here this evening. City clerk, do you recall the incident?
City manager.
I'd rather not engage the staff in this discussion, Mayor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand those are all public records, and
They are.
and
They are.
anyone's entitled to
Yeah.
check them out. All right.
Yes, and I believe that we will be able to show proof that indeed, once again, you have mistaken yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.